Know who you're serving. Don't just say, I want to serve everybody. I just want to help women. I just want to know, who are you serving them and why? What is your why? And I tell people a lot of times, especially when I was in network marketing, when people would join my team, your why has to be strong. If your why doesn't make you cry, it's not strong enough. As in many full-time entrepreneurs, they will probably say this to somebody who is a 9-to-5er and is looking to build their business or is in the process. We get jealous of y'all because of the fact that the little bit of time that you do have, the after the 9-to-5, the 5 to 9, or the 5 to when before you have to clock in, that drive to work, that 1 hour lunch break if it's an hour. Y'all, your time has to be intentional. First and foremost, if Jesus needed a community before he left this planet physically, what makes you think you don't need one?
Hey, thank God for another day. Hey, I know we could be another way. Pray, thank God for another day. Hey, I know we could be another way.
To be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. I love that song.
That's a good
real
one.
bad. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good one. If y'all don't know where you've landed in a safe space where we decompress, have fun, and guess what?
Just ask.
We're so excited that you're here. It's Thursday now.
It is Thursday.
And it might not be Thursday when you watch it, but it's Thursday. Thursdays are our days where we launch.
Yeah.
And we launch. And you got new episode after new episode after new episode after new episode. Okay?
So y'all keep coming back.
Super excited about today because today I have not just a guest. I got my girl.
Yeah.
Okay, I got my girl. But also, you know who else is on this platform with me? My girl, Desiree.
Hey.
Desiree.
Hey.
Desiree. Hey, boo, how you feeling?
Hi, Jessica.
That's how you feel.
Yes, I'm feeling amazing.
Okay, that smile looking amazing.
Yeah, I'm just, honestly, I'm just grateful. Like, at the end of the day, things could be so much worse, right? Like, even though like things aren't going how we may think they should be going, right? The reality is, there's always somebody
worse off,
such a worse situation. So I'm just grateful for His grace.
Listen, because the grace and mercy is real, okay? We just talked to Omar about that, like living in grace. We've been talking about to our community about that, you know. If you haven't joined yet, I don't know what you're waiting on.
Come on.
So Desiree, I'm excited about this guest because our guest today is the definition of multifaceted.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes navigating through being multifaceted can be frustrating, right? We talk about things could be worse, but the blessing of being multifaceted is also what they would, I won't consider a curse, but maybe the frustration.
Yeah,
it can be very frustrating. So I don't want to prolong the time because I think this is going to be a great, healthy conversation. I'm super excited to have the woman of God by me. I want to introduce to some and present to others my girl, Nella Coleman.
Hello.
Nella, Ella, hey, hey. Hey, boo, how you doing?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Are you blessed? The makeup is makeuping.
Thank you. I was trying to match you because, I'll be watching you and you be up here with your lashes and stuff. You should have saw me in the car.
Girl, I'm bald and beautiful today because I can't find this glue. I cannot find this glue, but it's okay because the glasses always cover it up. Okay.
They always come through.
So, Nella, how would Nella describe Nella?
Lord Jesus.
Because when we talk about multifaceted, you have a lot that you do.
Yes.
A lot of talent, a lot of understanding, a lot of wisdom. So how would Nella describe Nella?
Nella would describe Nella as I'm actually, before I even give all the titles, I'm actually in a season of rediscovering.
I love that.
I'm in a season of rediscovering myself, not even relearning the things that I like, because as time goes on, your taste changes, your interests change, your mental state changes, all of the different things about you change. So I'm in a season of discovering myself again, learning the things that I like, setting new boundaries, and everything else. So as of now, I am mommy, I'm wife, I am a entrepreneur, full-time entrepreneur, and a coach. So.
And she's
And
being
a woman
modest.
of God.
A woman of God. Okay, we can't ever forget the woman of God. Okay, I think that it's very interesting. One of the things that she's being very modest on is that not only is she a coach, but she is a community builder. Like, you can't just say folks can be coaching people, but you outside like building communities, and not just even her own community. She building other people communities.
Yes.
All right, y'all hear me always talk about David Shands hashtag community builder, like right here. Y'all looking at the person that anytime something comes up, she's thinking about me. If something's happening where it's a hosting opportunity or moderating opportunity, my girl really like be looking out. And so I want to publicly thank you for always considering me for opportunities. And so that's why it's so important who you are around, and also making sure that you're presenting yourself as you want to be seen. Like making sure that not only you asking for opportunities, but that you're the quality for the opportunity. I don't know who needed to hear that, but that's listen.
Look, well, I want to thank you for always showing up in the capacity that you show up, and not just as my friend, but as Jessica, the podcaster. Because had you not, I would not have been able to say Jessica without the shadow of a doubt. Like, the moment that we said in the podcast community, when we had said, okay, we need somebody that's going to coach Wednesdays, that's going to teach, instantly you came up in my mind.
Yeah.
And Carl had asked, he was like, are you sure? Like, anybody else? I was like, no. Ain't nobody else that's been as consistent. Ain't nobody else that implements that comes to my mind. Ain't nobody else that can teach the way she's going to teach. Ain't nobody else going to pull the things out of people that she's going to pull out. Jessica. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Man. So when let's just go here, because I think we finna get real comfortable.
Oh Lord.
With you having access to some prominent people. I'm just gonna say prominent, because they're not the only ones.
Right.
We'll just keep it like that, because this is not for that conversation. But you're around prominent people and you're serving prominent people. When people come to you, let's say somebody's coming from you from one of our communities or just off the street or whatever, what is it that you look for when people are asking for different opportunities?
First and foremost, 9 times out of 10, I don't like to be approached about, hey, can I, because I've never been the person to ask for handouts and ask for opportunities and to ask. I just do the work.
Girl, you talking good.
Even if you and I have had many conversations about me feeling overlooked in certain areas and things, even in the instance of me feeling overlooked, I always still do the work. So that there is a trail behind me that you can never doubt.
Yeah.
You can never say I didn't put the work in.
Yeah.
You can never say that I didn't show up. You can never say that I didn't give my all, right? And so I have come across many people that say, I want an opportunity to speak. Or even when you did the panel, when I called you.
Okay, yeah.
When I called you and asked you to do the panel, I had people ask, well, why you ain't called me?
That's interesting.
Because
That's interesting.
because I haven't seen the fruit.
Nella.
I haven't seen it.
Nella.
I need to see the fruit. Even if you came to me and you asked for the opportunity and maybe it didn't, because sometimes every once in a while, maybe I might overlook something, and that's on me.
Yeah.
And I have no problem admitting that. But if you come to me, you don't have any fruit that you've produced, and you're still asking for the opportunity, it's going to be a hard pass. I'm going to be nice about it. I'm going to smile on your face and give you the love of the Lord.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be a hard pass.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because this is something, for one, Nella is also my accountability partner, along with Tiff. Shout out to
Shout out
Tiff.
to my girl, Tiff.
But, Free Your Mind podcast.
We got to do a...
Yeah, we got to do a
The
trio.
three of us, yes.
Yeah, go ahead and
Well, four
tap
of us.
into that. Yeah, real bad. So you and Tiff have gotten on to me about this, what I'm about to ask you about. You already know where I'm finna go. But with you saying for people not to ask, I think I have a problem with asking.
You and me both.
Right? But you had a big ass at the podcast summit.
Girl, and that was so uncomfortable.
You had a huge ass. We gotta talk about that.
Yes.
But you had a huge ass. How do I know if you're telling people you don't like for people to come up to you? Mm-hmm. How do I know when the healthy moment is to present myself and present me shooting my shot?
Yeah. And it's not that I don't like people coming. I don't like it when you come up and you know that you have no history. You know you haven't been putting in the work in, right? You only had one podcast episode and now you asking the host main stage. Like,
come on, fam. Come on, fam.
come on.
We part in the Red Sea.
We got I know God can work some miracles, but this may not be one of them.
Listen,
right now. Like, so for me, it's knowing who you are, coming up with confidence, even if you only at episode 25. Mm-hmm. Walk in the confidence that you at episode 5,678.
Yeah.
Right? Like, walk in the confidence, like in the podcast community. We had called out, oh my God, Lord, please bring her, Sasha.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
And every time she talks about her following count, she always, or her subscribers, she always talks as if she has the subscribers.
Yeah.
She doesn't talk as if she only has a couple hundred.
Yeah.
Right? That's the confidence I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact, sometimes people will say like, well, Nella, your energy, you be a little standoffish sometimes. And
you got to be though, Nella. Like, I don't think it's standoffish. I think that, so as for somebody, this is something that Nella and I have in common. So people have seen my spiritual mother here, right? Mm-hmm. She was the first prominent person that I served closely as I have. And she has been my foundation. So when people have asked me questions like, where you get this from, baby? I got Dr. D. Funby. I went through the course, okay? Like
I went through the ringer.
Because at the end of the day, like, I think that also with serving the community and being that there's a level of protection that you have for prominent people that you are working for or serving or whatever. And so I think that it's not standoffish. What they're sensing is you're not finna walk through this door as easily as you thought you were. And I think I don't think you standoffish. I just think that you act like
I'm protected.
Yeah,
I'm protected.
real bad.
Yeah, and even like, and my husband will tell you, even sometimes, because you know he does podcast intros, he'll be like, yo babe, introduce me to, I'll be like, no, you gotta work for that.
To your husband?
To my husband.
Jesus.
To my husband.
He ain't got the grace.
So my thing is, if my husband doesn't get at that many open doors, every once in a while, yes, I'll shoot I'll do the alley-oop and everything else. But there are times where I'm like, no, you got to introduce yourself. You got to do the work.
Why do you do that?
Because it's a muscle. You can't expect everybody, and once again, this goes back to just how I operate. I don't operate as people expecting that you will just give me stuff. Now, if I'm doing the work and I'm still not getting the fruits of my labor, then I'm going to be like, all right, that's when that feeling of overlooked and everything comes in for me.
Yeah.
But if you have to build your own muscle. It's just the same thing as the gym. You go to a gym and get a trainer, and you ask the trainer to lift the weight, they
Yeah.
already got the muscles.
Yeah.
You paying them so you can get like them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. You said it. You said it right.
Them lifting those weights for you, them holding your hands up under you so that you don't drop those weights or so you can finish the last set, that's not doing nothing for you. That's not doing anything for you.
It's not making you as strong.
Right.
Right. You're talking so good. So I think because we share, I don't just host Wednesdays by myself. I made like Nella, I'm not doing this by myself. So we do it together. I always say that. She always try to put me on the spot. But so the community that we're talking about is the 7-Figure Podcast community, hosted by David Shands, Carl, and CJ, right? And so on Wednesday nights, we have community nights, and we are very much so motherly and stern at the same time. So shout out to the community.
We love y'all.
We love y'all, but y'all special. Y'all
Special type of special.
Y'all special. But I'm curious because you have been able to build communities. What's, as podcasters, as creators, as influencers, because that's who we're talking to, that's who our community is geared towards. What's the first steps that I need to take in deciding to build a community? Because there's a lot of options there. And when people say community, sometimes we get that misconstrued with like engagement or anything like that. Like, can you give us like the foundation of building a community?
Yeah, definitely. First and foremost, you have to know who you're serving. You have to know who you are serving. Like, even with God coming, with Jesus, he knew who he was here to serve.
That's good.
When he was on this earth, he specifically asked, who needs a doctor? The sick or the healthy? He knew who his audience was. He even knew, and a lot of people will, when they start to build communities, they look for the support from their family members, their friends, and their auntie and them and everybody else. But even Jesus knew that he couldn't start where he came from. He had to go to every other city around, then came back. We have to do the same thing. Know who you're serving. Don't just say, I want to serve everybody. I just want to help women. I just want to know, who are you serving them and why? What is your why? And I tell people a lot of times, especially when I was in network marketing, when people would join my team, your why has to be strong. If your why doesn't make you cry, it's not strong enough. It's not strong enough. And a lot of times I would have people go sit down with a piece of paper, and I would say, why are you doing this? Why are you on my team? And they will write it down. And I'm looking at their facial expression, and I say, why? They write down the next why. Still not strong.
Why is it hard to get people like to understand that though? Like, because I know I've told the people this before. Like, people are like, why did you start a podcast? And I'll just start like, because the Lord told me so. Now that's I'm passionate, but because my relationship with the Lord,
yes,
you know. But I do understand that everybody doesn't understand that. So for people that are struggling with their why, how would you direct them into finding out their why? Or is it
just
that
like what I just said?
Just writing it
keep
down.
writing it down. Keep asking yourself why. So the very first time, I'm trying to think of the book, Know Your Why. Know Your Why. That's the book that I started reading, and that book is so torn up on my bookshelf now. And I was reading that book, and I was sitting in that job. This was when I was still working in corporate America. I was sitting at my desk, supposed to be working, supposed to be taking calls from people that done got into accidents. I was in insurance at the time.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting here reading this book at my desk, and I pull a sticky note, and I started writing my reasoning. And at the time, I was pregnant with my daughter. And originally, the reason why I wanted to build my network marketing company was to make sure she was good.
Yeah.
But then I kept asking myself, why? Why do you want to make sure she's good? And I would give another reason. And I believe what I wrote down, the sticky note is still sitting in my notebook at home. I wrote down, it was something along the lines of, I never have to want. Why do you never want her to never have to want? Because there were things in life that I wasn't able to get. Well, why? And I kept going and going and going until I was literally at my desk in tears. And then when that nerve got struck, I was like, this is my why. It ain't got nothing to do with my daughter.
Do
Yes,
you
she's
remember
gonna be a
that
benefit.
moment? Do you remember what that crying, that core why?
Yeah. I have been in situations, I've been in domestic violent relationships. I have been homeless. I have been in situations where I didn't know where food was going to come from. And for me, not having that control over my life, it had nothing to do with making sure she never has to want or anything. Of course, I want her to benefit from it.
Right.
But it had everything to do with feeling in control of my surroundings and feeling like I got this. I can provide for this child that's on the way. And feeling like I'm never going to put her in a situation where we're eating out of a trash can. I'm never going to put her in a situation where we gotta make sure tonight you can have this much oatmeal so that just so we can get to Monday.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's where my why ended up coming from.
That's so good. I want to eventually go to the motherhood piece because Desiree and I aren't moms yet. Well, I'm a dog mom. Hey, Amor. I'm a dog mom. But it's not like taking care of a child. Before I get to that question, I think I'm curious to know what do you consider the biggest mistakes people make? Let's say 2 to 3 mistakes people make in building communities.
For the money. That's the first thing. Community is not about money. And a lot of times people think, when we think communities, they only think about Facebook groups, Discords, Mighty Networks, and different platforms. Community was around long before social media.
Yeah, that's good.
Martin Luther King built a community of people. Malcolm X built a community of people, but it was all facing one issue, one mission, right? We can go down the line of Black Lives Matter. I know it's a controversial, but but we still gonna
we still gotta use it as an example.
Look,
yeah.
it was a community, right? And so a lot of times people think, I want to build a community because I want consistent income on a month-to-month basis. Yes, that's great. And granted, I do use it as a marketing tool,
Right.
Because that's where people's mindsets are. But at the end of the day, if you're only focused on the money, your audience is going to realize that.
Yeah.
They're going to feel that energy.
Yeah.
But if you're focused on transformation, if you're focused on giving the information, if you are focused on making sure that your people are leaving with better than they came to you, you set.
That's so good. So I got a personal question, and because we're gonna say this out loud, because Nella and I have conversations where I get fussed at. I think I get fussed at weekly for something. I don't know.
She not gonna
I get fussed at weekly for
We
something.
not gonna act like you don't be fussing at me too.
Yeah. Yeah. So shout out to the community that we are building. The community acts for the community. If they didn't, I wouldn't be doing it. I'm just gonna call it straight, because I know I said this on morning meetup one day, talking to the young lady. I can't think of her name right now. When I did the moderation.
Yes.
And one of her things was she was very faith-based or whatever, but she's in the fitness program and she's making all this money off doing this. And her why was basically rooted in faith and just believing that God has called her to do this. God has, and my struggle is, even though it's not about the money, is monetizing the community. And so how do I gauge where I put the price point of where I want to serve? I think I'm personally struggling with that. And I think if you're talking to other believers that just want to give,
Right.
But also we're hearing monetize the community, meaning put a price point on it, let them join at this rate, do special things for them, different episodes or whatever. I hear all of that, but then I'm sitting here Lord, I'm struggling with the heart. I want to just give it. I want to give it, but where do I, where does my gift make room for me? So
Yeah.
for somebody like me, help me, please, help me, please.
Help me.
What would be your resolve for me?
It's funny you say that because I actually had a consultation with a client, a potential client yesterday, and she literally was having the same exact issue. And one of my biggest things is God did not put inside of you what he put in you so that you don't live in abundance. Now, abundance looks like many different things, but he also told us to make money off of the things that we are able to do. He has parables where he talks about using the resources that have been given to you to make the money. Now, should that be the driving factor? Absolutely not. Right? And so when we're talking about matching the price tag to the value, your value should always be more than the price tag.
That's so good.
You should never feel like, I should never feel like if I come into your community, I pay more than what I'm getting. And I should never feel like I'm paying equal to what I'm getting.
What does that look like tangibly?
Yeah. So let's say, for example, I build a community where I only have you paying $15 a month, and you only get one live session a week, or a month, or every other week. Depends on how much somebody. That's kind of equal. If I'm only getting one live workout session and nothing else, or I pay you $15 a month, but I get 2 live sessions a week. I'm getting a habit tracker. I'm getting a nutrition plan. I'm getting a fitness workout plan specified for the goal that I have. I also have an accountability group that is based off of the goal that I have, and I'm only paying $15.
And what does that do for the people that's in the community? What do you think the response is from the people in the community?
It's a no-brainer. When I see that the value is more than what I'm paying, it's no-brainer. There's no reason why I can't figure out how to get $15 every month. I'm going to make sure if I don't pay the T-Mobile bill, if I don't pay something, I'm going to make sure that $15 in there.
Please pay T-Mobile.
Please pay pay your phone bills.
Hey, they do it. Look, T-Mobile got this thing where they'll split it in half for you, okay? And I use it.
Look.
Don't be ashamed.
Look, okay?
Desiree, what you was going to say? Yes, you was. Desiree, put the
Just use your resources.
Use your resources. Go get the vases and start pouring that oil until there ain't no more to pour, okay?
Come on.
Revelate, woman of God. Revelate, woman of God.
Look.
No, also, and I think that even hearing you talk, because I'm thinking about Crystal, Desiree, where we are in this workout group or whatever, and she had us pay $25 for the year.
The whole year.
The whole year. January to December. We get up, she has 4 different opportunities for us to work out together. So there's accountability. She gives us 1 month of recipes or of
a meal plan.
All right. She's always checking in. She's like, hey, when you're done, click done. Because some people don't get on the Zooms, but they still do the workout or whatever. So she's giving you a workout Monday through Thursday. And then Saturday she does this Zoom. And she loves it. She has her own brand of stuff that she sells like supplements, body wraps, all this stuff like that. And literally, Desiree did it first. She did it last year or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she knew that my goal. I kept complaining about my weight. So she was like, why don't you join Crystal? It's only $25. So then when I saw what was going on, I told my sister. Now I tell my sister, I sold my sister. My sister sold it to somebody else. At this point, we knew most of the community ended up being folks we knew because we took that opportunity to say, hey, you got to hop on this. And now I'm looking forward to paying her again. You know, like I'm looking forward to doing this because for one, it was like, this is a no-brainer to hop on because I've paid way more.
Yes.
Way more than
way
that.
less.
Listen, you hear me? And it's not like I'm not getting results. You get results too. So what you're saying is what I'm saying, to complement what you're saying, is it's not just about the price point, but the value being more than the price point.
Right.
Because her value of what she's getting, I'm like, it's a no-brainer. Like, you'll be crazy not to pay the $25. And I think that's where you're getting it. Now, that may not be your thing, but that was a good example. So I appreciate you bringing it up. So let's pivot real quick, because you're good at pivoting.
Oh God.
You're good at pivoting. Okay. How do you know, with you being multifaceted, you've not only built communities, you've ran social media platforms for people, you've meal prepped for people.
Meal prep.
You still I'm like, you've done so many things. How do you know where Nella needs to be?
Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't know where I need to be, and I actually I want to say towards the end of springtime, beginning of summer, I started offloading stuff. Probably even sooner than that, started offloading stuff off of my plate because I started feeling the walls close in on me. And you and I had a conversation about this when I was serving as the lead for the events team at my church. And so that was about the time. That was the time where I started taking things off my plate, right? Because I started having such a clouded mindset and a clouded vision of what needs to get done. Where do I need to be? Being at church, Lord knows. Lord knows.
Get it out.
Get it out. Lord knows I love to serve.
Yeah.
I love being in the church. Both my parents are pastors, right?
I didn't know Miss Janice was no pastor.
Girl.
Child.
Both my parents pastors. I was raised in the church, everything, right? I've gone through the whole journey of a PK, but I had gotten to a place where I can't be in the church every day, all day.
Yeah.
Which is where they might as well have had a bed in the back for me.
Wow.
Because I was there to the point where there were days where I would come home and she already sleep. I didn't get to make dinner for her. I didn't get to put her to bed. I didn't get to give her a bath, read her a story, none of that stuff. I come home, I drop her off at school, and then I go to the church. And I'm coming home, and she already knocked out. And he in the bed waiting, right? And so when it started getting to that type of friction on top of other things that were happening, I was like, all right, something has to give here. Something has to give. And so when I started having those feelings, I took it to my pastor. Like, my pastor, I blow his phone up.
Real bad.
Like, sir, why are you not answering the first call? Like, on the first ring, why are you not answering right now? And he and I had a conversation of seasons in people's lives and how sometimes you're going through a season, but there are times where you serve a season. And so I've started to notice in my life, okay, like even now, the meal prepping.
Yeah.
I got a text message I got to send out soon. That season is coming to a close.
Yeah.
Right? It did what it was supposed to do when it was supposed to do it. It's time to start dusting those things, taking those things off your plate. So my pastor, child. And 9 times out of 10, when I call him, he'll be like, I don't even know why you called me.
Because you know.
Because you already know the answer.
You already know.
I'm trying to understand why you called my phone.
I'm curious to understand the emotion that was attached to pivoting like that. You know, especially like when you talk about church, you talk about faith. And with you having experience as being a preacher's kid, there's a different level of responsibility that you think about, especially when you talk about responsibility of a church, right? Emotionally, did you feel guilty for pivoting for you and what you needed for that season? If you were, how did you manage that?
Yeah, I felt, and not even necessarily I felt guilty. I felt like I was giving up I felt responsible. Felt responsible for the team that I had built. I felt a responsibility to them because of the fear of the hands that I was leaving them in, of whose hands I was leaving them in. Because I'm the type of person where I will get in the mud with you. Right? My team, I'm not going to be the person up here watching my team dig in the dirt.
Yeah.
No, I'm down there with you, asking you to hand me the shovel.
Yeah.
Right? And I knew the person who I was leaving that team, the hands I was leaving it is not that kind of person. Right? And so that feeling of like, I really don't want to leave them with them. I really don't want to put them in the hands of somebody that I know really doesn't care. They just want the job done, and they want it done right the first time. That was the biggest pull that I was having, right? Feeling like I wasn't going to have, if I do this, what is my purpose?
No.
Oh, Lord.
No. Because that is very real. That is very real sometimes, and this is not even just in church. Sometimes we don't release certain things because our identity has attached itself to the thing that we're doing. And I think that we have to be honest with ourselves regarding, okay, why does this hurt so bad? You know what I'm saying? I'll be transparent with you. Like, I'm in a season right now where I'm trying to navigate my location with my church, right? I asked Omar this. I asked him, like, how is he able to balance being a pastor, right, and having his business or whatever? And it's always in my mind that, because y'all know I still work a 9 to 5. I'm not a full-time entrepreneur yet. But how, because there is liberty in the time of an entrepreneur, I said, well, maybe they're doing this and they can do this because they have the flexibility and the time to do it. And that's not actually true. You actually probably have less time than me because I structurally get a paycheck every 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? You're having to go hunt.
You got to hunt your food.
You got to hunt your food. So I'm trying to like figure out how to balance what I'm doing and what I'm building, right? Because I need you to understand, Nella, and this is me because I heard this while you were talking. Knowing that you a builder, you will start responding like a builder, right? And I think that for me and you, we've both had the opportunity of realizing that we're builders, and not. We can manage, but building is our first notion of calling, right? And so I think that while you were talking, it just resonated with me because I am in this season where I'm like, God, where am I supposed to be in my church? And if I'm in the right position, please give me the grace to not endure, but execute in excellence, because I'm struggling right now, executing in excellence in the role that I'm in.
Because you're tugging with the emotions.
Exactly, because I love the Lord for real. It's not even just about my church. I love my church. I really do. I love my pastors. Shout out to Pastor Gino Garner and Corinne Garner. Okay, I love them now. They real. Them my people. I'll fight you if you play with my pastors. They know it. Okay, they know it. But I think that you're bringing up such a powerful point and realistic point. And I think that also choosing yourself, not even just choosing yourself, but understanding the timing of where you are is important. And so you're an entrepreneur, you have pivoted a lot, but you've done that at least, was she 5? She is 5 years old. For the past 5 years, you've had to do that being a mom. What has that been like for you, trying to navigate being the best mother, but also building as an entrepreneur?
It's rough. It is rough. And before I even answer that, I want to go back to something you said, though, because you talked about the timing that a full-time entrepreneur has versus a 9-to-5er has.
Yeah.
And when I was working a 9-to-5 job and I was building my network marketing business, as in many full-time entrepreneurs, they will probably say this to somebody who is a 9-to-5er and is looking to build their business or is in the process. We get jealous of y'all. because of the fact that the little bit of time that you do have, the after the 9 to 5, the 5 to 9, or the 5 to when before you have to clock in, that drive to work, that 1 hour lunch break, if it's an hour, your time has to be intentional. Because of the fact we have so much, because we do have a lot more time. But because we have more time, it leaves a lot more room for let me get the laundry done real quick. Let me go run these errands. I gotta go grocery shopping real quick. Knowing good and well you got groceries in the refrigerator, right? I gotta take the kids to school. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. So a 9 to 5er, it doesn't, because you don't have as much free and flexible time. Your time that you do have has to be a lot more intentional in the way that you spend it and use it. So because of that, you guys are able to be more decisive in the activity you put into your business.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. As a mom and an entrepreneur, it's hard. There are days where I fail as a mom. There are days where I lose my cool. There are days where even when I was pregnant with her, well, not even, right after I had her, I was in the process of writing my second or third book.
Yeah, you left that out for the audience to let them know that you were author, but go ahead.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
And she talked about me giving her the heat. So y'all, look, I was in the process of writing my second or third book right after I had her. And I remember sitting on the couch, her in one hand, trying to rock her to sleep, and she trying to hold the bottle up with the left, and then over here writing on the right hand side, writing the book, trying to get things done before I had to hop on the call for my networking business. And right before I had her, I lost my job. I was fired. 6 months pregnant. No, a little bit before 6 months. I was 3 months pregnant when I gave them my maternity leave notice. A week later, they served me a termination notice.
Oh, wow.
And then we fought back and forth for like a month and some change. I got the EEOC involved because I don't play that.
Right.
Right? And then eventually I made my way out. And not realizing, I had been praying for God to push me out for a long time. And so when that came around, I realized how this could be hard. And in that moment of sitting on the couch, and I wasn't even living at home anymore. My dad had kicked me out at the time. And because we had gotten into a big argument, at the time, I had just met my now husband, just met him, and I didn't know where to go. I was jumping from hotel to hotel for about a month and a half, 2 months. Pregnant as all get out. And eventually one of his friends had a room that she could rent to me. I rented the room. I'm sitting on this couch, baby in one hand, writing the book, bust out crying. And I'm like, Lord, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can be the mom that she needs me to be. And I picked up the phone and called Chris, my husband now. I picked up the phone and called him, and I said, I need to find somewhere to give her up for adoption.
Wow. Okay, so I saw a girl on TikTok. She's 23 years old, and she was talking about how she considered she has 3 kids. And her last kid, they have the same father. The father's not around or whatever. And I saw a post that she made was saying that she was considering giving her child up for adoption. How does one come to that option of giving their child up for adoption? Like, where were you mentally? Because she's not adopted, y'all. She right here, like, over there watching her iPad.
Yeah,
she quiet. she over here.
Look, this real mom time.
And it's nothing for those. I want to be very clear. Let me let you hear this. If you were to make that decision for your situation, there's nothing wrong with it.
At all.
At all. I just want to know, like, for you to even come up with that, what in you thought that you weren't equipped to sustain, now she started talking, sustain motherhood with her?
It's actually something. So at first, going through that state, I didn't think I was ready. Of course, I still wanted to live my life and everything else.
Was her dad the one that you dealt with abuse with?
No.
Okay.
That was my ex-husband. And then after my ex-husband, I got into this relationship, and it was great until I got pregnant.
Okay.
And then the moment I told him I was pregnant, he sent me a text message and said, "Good luck." And I haven't heard from him since. Ever since.
Okay. Yeah. We won't go there. Let's go back to how we get to the adoption part.
And so in the midst of all of this turmoil going on and the feelings and him not even saying that's not my child, admitting that that is his child and still not wanting to be there, going through all of the judgment from church members and the people that I grew up with in church, and going through all the different feelings and emotions, then I felt like I'm not mentally capable of raising somebody else. But now looking back, and after having a multitude of conversations with my mom, not necessarily about those feelings, but just having in conversation, when you leave, I was in such a vulnerable state that when you leave enough room for the enemy to come in, he's able to twist your thoughts, right? And so, yes, my mental is not that I wasn't a fit mom mentally, but I was still struggling. There were times where I was like, look, I don't know. And Chris and I actually got into an argument about it one day, and it was on his birthday because he was adopted.
Wow. Didn't know that.
He was adopted. And we've talked about this on other podcasts, so
no,
I'll tell his
that's
story.
Your husband's story.
I'm gonna tell your story, boo. But he was adopted by his own family members.
Okay.
But there was a call that at the time his aunt, who is now considered now is his mom, she got a call and said, "You have 1 hour to make a decision of picking him and his sister up. And if you guys do not make a decision and come pick them up, they go into the system."
Wow.
And so they had an hour to make that decision. They picked him up. And so when I would have those conversations with him about her, he would get a little,
it triggered
no,
him.
This is a decision that you made to keep her. Because when I met him, I was only 2-3 months pregnant.
Oh, wow.
Right? And he actually, in the very beginning of our friendship, he had that conversation with me. "Are you sure you want to keep this baby?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure." I was so gung-ho on it. And then when I finally had that baby, I was like, I really don't know if I can do this as a single mom.
Yeah.
It was the expectation of thinking that her biological father would be
eventually change his mind.
The father, not even that, because he has other kids. And I've watched him in the lives of his other kids. And so in my mind, we in this situation, because I see how you are with them, I know you're going to be that father for my daughter.
And that's still not the case.
Still not the case.
So did you take that personally?
Not personally, no. Because I just couldn't understand it though. I couldn't calculate in my mind, like, why my baby? I never had the feeling or thought of it was something about me. It was always just, why would you not take care of my baby?
What's coming to mind? I'm hearing I'm almost forgetting that we're recording right now. Sorry, y'all. But what's coming to mind right now is how there are different tools to build different things. All right. So we're not going to use the same tools to fix a car that we would a bookshelf.
Right.
Right. And so what comes to mind is, and not calling the man of God a tool, but thinking of it as such, maybe he doesn't have the tools to build up baby girl, and God is trying to make sure that she is properly built up. Maybe he has the tools for those other kids, right? And so that's what was coming in my mind while you were sitting there talking. Sometimes we ask why, but the hindsight is, if certain people were in your life during a certain season, you wouldn't have been going the direction that you would have been going into, right? And so I think that you have to give yourself more credit than you probably do, because what I know about you, and I know the first thing that people say about you is that you're a wonderful mom. Like, you really care about that little girl. And I'm curious to know how your mother, Miss Janice, the relationship with you guys, how that has impacted you being a mom.
Child.
Y'all should see how she looked at me. That was a look, Desiree, wasn't it?
Child. So, and it's actually funny because my mom was a single mom.
Okay.
With my older brother. She was a single mom. Now, granted, his father, he's always been in his life. She did what she had to do. She went through college with him on her hip, like everything. She did what she had to do. But we actually, I want to say probably about 2 or 3 months ago, I sat on the phone with my mom and I told her she didn't have these conversations with me. You didn't have the conversations with me of what, and we always, like, people always joke in life about how there's no handbook. There's no handbook for life. There's no handbook for parenthood or motherhood or whatever the case may be. And it's not that there's no handbook, but there are people in your life who have gone through what you've gone through. And the time to talk to me, and not just in general, but like, well, not personally, but in general, the time to talk to somebody about the things that they're experiencing is not when they're experiencing it.
That's so good.
It's before they get to that point. So the moments where I had the conversation of, Mom, Dad, I'm pregnant, that was the most gut-wrenching moment in my life.
How did they take it?
Disappointed.
How did that make you feel?
Like a disappointment.
I think parents don't realize that, though. That word, disappointment, I just talked to my my spiritual mom about this. And I was just like, I'm so, when I tell you there's an anxiety attached to disappointment, and it's like, when I hear that I disappointed you, that means I don't even deserve to be here in my mind. And so I think that you even saying that is an opportunity for parents to be mindful of the language that they use. You might be disappointed.
And the thing is, it's not, they won't, sometimes my dad will tell you he's disappointed.
Yeah.
But typically, it's not even, because I'm very sensitive to energy. I'm very sensitive to body language.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, most parents will not say it out of their mouths.
Yeah.
But the energy that they give, the facial expressions, the body language will show, I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah.
Which is is more passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Which makes it worse.
Yeah.
And so for me, I've always dealt with the fear of disappointment my whole entire life. Feeling like I've not making my parents proud. Always making decisions that they didn't want me to make.
Yeah.
Like when I dropped out of college, I knew my dad was disappointed. I know he wants me to go get a degree. I know even now, me being a full-time entrepreneur, it drives him up a wall because he wants his daughter. And I understand it comes from a place of loving and caring, but at the same time, it puts the feeling of being a disappointment on me. And I've dealt with that my whole entire life. Right? Especially with the golden child coming behind you.
Oh, you got a younger sibling.
Brother. And he's doing all the things. right? I'm wonder, and I don't like to. I'm getting out of the habit of making myself a statistic, but it's like, okay, you got my brother who's going to school, got a great job, he's gotten married, he's got his own house, he's got his house, and this, that, next thing, younger than me, all these things, and I'm sitting here looking at myself, and I'm like, I'm divorced, remarried, had a baby in between that, I ain't got no house yet, I'm still figuring out my business and everything else. Dad over here want me to get a job, mom wants me to get a job, grandma wants me to get a job, like all the different things. But then you got the golden brother over here who could do no wrong. Right? And so for me, that disappointment weighs even more.
So how do you overcome that as an entrepreneur?
Child, it's probably not a healthy way at all. Whatsoever.
Let's keep it real, because this is a safe space. If you want to share.
When I had my first divorce, my first divorce, I'm not gonna say it that way because that leaves room for another one. When I got divorced from my marriage, that feeling of disappointment, because we don't do divorces.
Yeah.
Right? That we as Christian folk, as believers of God, you figure out what it is and you make it work. Mm-hmm. You make it work, right? And so that feeling of disappointment, I ended up becoming an alcoholic. Real bad, to the point where I think I got hospitalized twice. One time one friend came, and thank God she had a key to my house. She came home, found me passed out on the couch, and rushed me to the hospital. Another time I had went to the club for the weekend, and this was long before baby girl was born. Went to the club, went to Atlantic City with friends for the weekend, and they didn't know where I was. I had told them I was going to the restroom, and they couldn't find me by the end of the night, and I'm waking up in the hospital. Because I just didn't want to feel. I didn't want to feel the pain. I didn't want to feel the disappointment. I had that feeling of, well, then I'm just better off not being here, right? What's the point of me being here on this planet if I'm such a disappointment? And so for me, over time, sometimes I bottle it all up, which is the not healthy part.
Yeah.
But then I have my moments where I'll call somebody up like you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I have my moments where I will just go in the bedroom and cry. And I don't want to be talked to. I don't want to be bothered. I just want to be left alone.
Yeah.
Right? And so I have gone to therapy over the years.
Therapy is always a good option.
Therapy in our community, in the black community.
Real bad. Don't skip therapy.
Do not skip therapy. We all need it. I don't care. Right? And then my pastor, I will blow his phone up.
Yeah. What I hear you saying is that you leaned into community. It goes right back to community. And that's why, whether free or paid, it's always an opportunity, because I paid for the community 7-figure pod. That's where I met Nella, and she didn't know me from a can of paint. She gave me that little stank attitude when I first met her, like everybody else does. Right? She had a little stanky attitude.
I did
just
not.
like
She
stank.
She
It was
lying.
stank, bro. It was like,
lying.
because I can't. It was with a podcast of it, and I was just like, the first one I was moderating, and I was like, hey, I'm Jessica Williams. She's like, okay. I was like, I am somebody that's on the flyer. My hair is red, so I know you should not. It was just like, and then I had been on the call every week. Okay, like, but now she loved my dirty job. Now she loved my dirty job. But no, sis, no, it goes back to community, y'all, and I really want y'all to hear that part. Like, bless you, baby girl. You got some tissue over here.
Right here, baby.
landing the plane on this is understanding that we all have these gifts, especially as the builder, right? When we talk about the builder, thank you, Holy Spirit, I hear you. You as a builder needs a community. The educational part of the community, okay, cool, that's a benefit. But the best part of being in a community is the fact that I get to meet Nella. Hashtag if you haven't heard, Desiree and I would not be friends if we did not join the same community.
Yeah.
It's not around anymore. That community is not, so don't even try to join that community. That community is not there. However, I need you to understand that our community, the safe space, is here so that you can connect, not so you can just connect with me and Desiree, but so that you can connect with each other, right? Yeah, Dave leads the communities that I met her in, but the relationship I have with Nella is not the relationship I have with Dave. And maybe I will never have that relationship, but Dave gave me an opportunity to connect. And so when you're thinking about joining a community, when you're thinking about even building a community, that's why the why has to be important. Not only why do I want to build, but why do they want to join? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm so glad that you shared that, because some people can look at you and be like, oh, she got it all together type stuff. Desiree, what you over there thinking about? Because you over there shaking that leg.
It's just natural. That just naturally happens, right?
You're just excited.
I mean, I love this conversation because I too, I don't know how to say it. I'm multifaceted, right? And it wasn't up until a few years ago that I began to lean into all of them, because I think society is like, focus on this, or you got to niche this and this. I'm just like, I'm only this. So I would say I'm just a hairstylist, which at the time, that's the only thing that I was doing, right? So as I began to just lean into the other spaces that were opening up, I'm like, oh, I'm all of these things and I can do all these things, but I started to realize there are seasons for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I believe, like, I think even with church, Jess comments sometimes like, oh, you're, you manage and do these things so well, and it's because I'm aware that I'm there for a season.
Yeah.
Like whether it's a long season or a short season, but I know the purpose of me being there is for me to grow in these roles. So the moment that assignment has finished, then now it's time for me to go to whatever the next thing is. And it's the same thing with hair. It's the same thing with photography, same thing with podcast producing, same thing with graphics, same thing with all of these things. I know that there's seasons where I may do all of them, and there are seasons where this may not look like this, and as I'm just growing, I'm learning to be okay with that. And also it can be a client by client thing. Like this one client may need this part of me, and the other one may need all of them, and I just believe that God gives us the grace to manage whatever that looks like, as long as we're open to managing it, partnering with him with it. Because I think for so long I was doing things for money. Like I was like, I made really good money in the hair salon, okay? And did. But I was like, oh, this is bigger than just money. Let me start leaning into community. Let me start leaning into what this actually is. And when I started doing that, I'm like, oh, I'm just the manager of this thing anyway. Yeah. And as I just began to, circle in these lanes, I'm like, okay, now I don't have to be so overwhelmed with this, because I can just give it back to the Lord. And so that was a really encouraging conversation, because I think there are so many people who are gifted at multiple things, and I think we just have to understand that there's a season for it. Yep. There's seasons for these things, because there's nothing new under the sun.
Nothing.
Right? And so I just appreciate even hearing your story. I think a lot of us can find ourselves in certain pieces of that story, and also realize that there's still hope and there's still joy on the other end of it as you're still journeying, right? It's still like your story is really still being written, and so I'm just grateful. I remember at first I didn't recognize you at this podcast because I think last time your hair was blue. Was your hair blue?
She didn't change her hair so many times.
I think
it was
blue.
It was cut. It was cut, and it was blue.
It was short like your hair is now.
Yeah. And I was like, man, she is so sweet, because Jessica talks so highly of you all the time, and so to really just get to, I think that's the thing, like people really think they know you.
Right.
just because they see you in a certain space, but they really just don't know like the foundation of like why you are like you are. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful that we got a little insight of Miss Nella today. So thank you so much for sharing your story.
I appreciate it.
Like real bad. I'm so glad, because secret is kept. It ain't no secret no more. Now that you're here, I can talk about it.
Oh, Lord.
But we had scheduled to do this last year.
Yeah, was it last year?
Or earlier this year.
Early this year.
And we finally got to, get
Yeah.
Nella in the building. Nella's family, she has an open door to JessAsk just because of the relationship, And the only way I got a relationship with Nella is because I came in the community. And so I know we talked about a lot, and you shared a lot. On the tradition, as you already know, as a tradition, we allow our guests to have the final word. And so if you came with anything on your heart or something just you want to like hone in on something that we've already talked about, the floor is yours.
Okay. First and foremost, I want to say to you, 'cause I don't think I've ever shared this with you, but this friendship is a friendship that I prayed for.
Oh, don't make me cry.
This friendship will go ahead, get the tissues or something, 'cause
I have one in my hand.
this friendship, I have always prayed for friendships that stretch me, that I can build with, and because I have always felt like the loner. I've always been the person that's there for everybody, that pours and pours and pours into the friendship, but then nobody pours back into me. And so I thank God for you, because you have been that friend for me. Girl, we both to start crying. My lash is big enough to cover my tears. Like, you have been that friend for me, and I thank God so much for you. You are amazing. You are spectacular. I want you to live louder than that redhead of yours, because there is so much more that is in you that has not been pulled out yet. You be pulling stuff out of people, but there is so much more in you that has not even come to the light yet. That's the first thing.
I'm trying to be quiet. I'm trying to be quiet.
She hates when I do that, y'all. She hates me when I do stuff like that. What I would say to your audience and to those who are watching, listening, first and foremost, if Jesus needed a community before he left this planet physically, what makes you think you don't need one? What gives you the audacity to feel like I can do this by myself? I got it. That term self-made, if Jesus wasn't self-made, if he wasn't able to spread the word the way that and I'm sure honestly he probably could have, but if he wasn't able to do it without the disciples, what on this planet Earth makes you think that you can do it by yourself?
So good.
That's my first thing. My second thing is, just like I just told Jessica that there's more in her, you were placed on this planet for something. Don't shortchange yourself. And I'm saying this from experience. Yeah. Don't shortchange yourself. Don't feel like there's no reason for you to be here. I have gone through the trenches of depression. I have gone through the trenches of attempting to take my own life. There is no reason why you are not supposed to be here. So take it as a sign. If you wake up tomorrow morning, if you woke up today, you're not done. There is a reason why, whether that's you need to build a community, whether that's there is a community out there that needs to hear your voice, whether that is there is something that needs to be built, because we talked about being builders today, whether there's something that needs to be built, but it can only be built by your hands, that's why you're still here.
That's why you're still here. Man, feelings are mutual. I always say the Lord knows who to put in my life, because at this point I'm okay with the friends I got. So
Look, she stuck with me, honey.
stuck like Chuck, okay?
Real bad.
Nella, I'm so proud of you. I appreciate you so much. Desiree, you know what time it is.
Love you, girl.
Love you too. Listen, make sure y'all comment, subscribe. You haven't done so. I don't know what you're doing. But yeah, make sure you join the family. Make sure you get in community, even if it's not the safe space. There's so many different communities that you can join that make sure that you have what you need and get you connected to the right people. And so on that note, I love you guys. Until next week, until next time, remember, life could be much more simple if you just ask.
What's up, you guys? We hope you've enjoyed that conversation, but make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification so you don't miss an episode. We'll see you next Thursday.